Hello and welcome to our design app. We're going to go through the different buttons and the navigation. So right away here on the left you have file where you can save, import, export, and some of these settings will actually be spread throughout some of the buttons here. So we can see them here under the material tab. You can set the materials for all the surfaces that we see here, and also for the cabinets such as the carcass, the doors, and many different things that you can set about the cabinet. Once we get into the settings menu, you can set the sizes by default. So these sizes would be how you would drag and drop, and you would see that they would take these default sizes. In terms of cabinet components, you have the crown moldings and valances you can set here, and the hardware for pulls, drawers, legs, and hinges. On the next tab here, we have different modes where you can switch from a 3D mode to a print mode, and this print mode would be generated once we have the 2D elevation views and plan views. 2D editors if you want to work in a 2D view instead of a 3D view, and a few other options here. This camera button basically first thing allows you to crop the scene. So if you just want to view a certain part or a certain section of your scene, you can come and hide the rest and just focus in on where you want to be. So you can drag and drag here either extremity and see how that impacts your scene. You have quick screenshot options here that also get sent to the print mode. Black and white 3D hidden lines and a color screenshot. These are not renderings, they're just as is what you see on the scene. Your measuring tool is here as well, and switching to a list view, and your undo and redo buttons are here, and of course switching to a 2D view would allow you to use the floor planner to build your floor plan. We'll take a look at this in a different session, but for now let's just go back to the 3D scene here and see what else we have. On the right side, we have all your catalogs, from your case goods for kitchen cabinets and closets to your doors and windows under construction. Your sofas and beds and tables would be all under furnitures, appliances, electronics, plumbing, fixtures, and 3D scenes, 3D decor items over here. So if when you're dragging and dropping a product into the scene, you're going to notice that the first thing happens is that it highlights in yellow everywhere where this item could possibly be mounted on. For the case of a base cabinet, they can go on walls or on the floor. And the higher highlighted or the stronger highlighted yellow is the current location, the wall that it's on, and the other lighter colors are where they could potentially also go. So that's for a base cabinet, and let's take a look at what it would look like if we went to a upper cabinet and dragged and dropped that. So now we would see the floor is no longer highlighted, right? So they would only go on on the walls. One thing I always like to do when I'm in here, as you can see, if I were to scroll, I would not be able to zoom in really well into these back items that are against this back wall. So we have a zoom button, or the shortcut key F on your keyboard would zoom that and center that item in the scene. I use that a lot because it comes in very handy. Now I can rotate all around and I can really zoom close to my product. In terms of the navigation, if you hold down the left mouse button, you rotate the scene. If you hold down the right mouse button, you pan the scene, and of course scrolling is zooming. Then you always double click to highlight items within the scene. Highlighting gives you options such as changing materials, like we saw the zoom. If we want to make a copy of an item, then we have to move our cursor to the direction where we want to place it. Positioning it and replacing it by another cabinet, and of course delete, that would remove it. This is just some, if you want to move that away from the the view, you can just move it away. And then also you can double click walls. You have materials where you can come and change. You got different categories, change the colors of the walls if you need to. And then you can change the colors of the floors by double clicking and using that. Here we do have the ability to change the orientation of the floors by just putting in a degree over here. This is how we would generate the 2D views for the floor plan. This is how we would generate the 2D views for the elevation views. And over here we have the camera positions. If I want to go from the top, back, front, left, and right, this is where I can find that. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next session. Thank you and goodbye.